So thank you, everyone, for joining us for this special multidimensional healing energy session where we're pointing at the issue of anger. So I've already created a group field, and the intention here is to include anyone who's shown up here today. So I welcome you all. And I want you to just sense into this sacred space I've created. This is a sacred space between worlds where we're met by divine consciousness of the highest order. A lot of divine mother energies, a lot of master healers of the highest order. And there's a specific angel that's working with you, the Angel Jophiel. I'm going to let you experience coming into your system. And so she's going to come into your crown and just settle into your heart and spine on the count of three. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. To me, when she enters my system, she just feels like home. And so welcoming the angel, we're also going to start with a little bit of sound vibration. The divine sound of Om is a very familiar chant. It's the sound of the universe. So you're welcome to join in on your end or just quietly feel the vibration move in, around, and through you. What I'm going to do is take 3 breaths, and on each out breath, chant the word Om. Again, just allow the energy to move in, around, and through you. Taking the first deep breath in. And the second breath. And the third breath. Sound healing, such a powerful force. I don't know if you noticed just how much silence entered the field by chanting the sound of Om. The next thing we're going to do is put your awareness in your root chakra. Your root chakra is at the base of your spine. We're going to do this simple exercise called earth breath. And I do it at the beginning of every session. We typically follow a protocol. We don't have time to go through every single phase. So I'm really just going to do this earth breath and then whatever we have time for at the end. Sometimes the earth breath can last for 20, 30 minutes because it is a reorientation all of its own. So inviting you again to put your awareness and your attention on your root chakra. And for those of you who are new, I'm just going to create some high frequency grounding structures. There we go. There we go. For some of you, grounding is actually quite hard. And I can understand that because when we seek to ground, we have to go through our lower chakras. And right there at the root chakra, well, that's where anger is. And that's where our survival fear is. So updating your grounding cord to high frequency. There we go. I don't know if you noticed. It's like easier to connect now because it's like a software upgrade or even a hardware upgrade. So now I'm inviting you to breathe down through the chair, the floor, the couch, building you're sitting in, stretching into the topsoil, breathing down through the various layers of the earth, the geological layers of granite and into the molten core. And we're going to invite you to connect to the heart of Gaia, like you're plugging into a light socket, or more appropriately, like you're plugging an umbilical cord into Mother. For Gaia is our Mother Earth, right? And as Mother Earth, she is how we used to in our ancestral lives and the indigenous cultures really feel our anchoring and grounding. Because we were out in earth, working with earth, celebrating earth all the time. We've lost touch. But here, energetically, we're going to restore as much as we can by recalibrating your system through this earth breath. So, as earth, I want you to breathe back up into you, gathering all this natural essence all the way up through your lower chakras into the bottoms of your feet, into your ankles and shins and knees and thighs, all the way up into your genitals and following your spinal cord into your stomach and your midsection organs, into your chest and lungs and heart, into your shoulders, down all your each of your arms, into your hands and palms and fingertips, up through your neck, to your skull, your eyes, your ears, your crown, and connecting this invisible cord to the very center of the galaxy where your divinity merges with this grounding, almost like a pillar of light. But we're using our breath here. But if you're a visual person, you can almost see this in clear light, this invisible, amorphous kind of ethereal, clear light, like a tube encasing you, connected from the center of the galaxy all the way to the center of the earth, and you are infused in the middle. And now coming back to that breath, we're breathing as earth. But I want you to really allow this time, imagine that the earth is breathing you. Pay attention now to the rhythm of your breath. Are you breathing shallow? If so, the earth is going to have a hard time getting into your nervous system because your parasympathetic nerve can be knocked out of place by something we call fight, flight, freeze. So invite those who feel a little disconnected to start counting their breaths, breathing in through your nose on your in-breath, which is your receptor. You're receiving this energy for the count of 4. And then exhaling out through your mouth, where you're letting go of any of that frantic, chaotic energy. So if you're having a hard time grounding, I invite you to do this numbered breathing. If counting is too much and it's distracting to you, just breathe in through your nose. And then as you exhale, make your exhale just a couple of beats longer. In through your nose, receiving the energy of the earth, this natural essence that is your birthright, that is infused with your own divine essence. Divinity in the earth recognizes the divinity in you, and it resonates in this oneness frequency. This oneness frequency breathing you as the earth helps ground and anchor you, the you that is this human body, but also this divine essence, deeper and deeper into the physicality of the earth, but also the energetic signature. There's a certain frequency, this Schumann resonance that so many people are familiar with. We don't have to worry about that. I just want the oneness of you merging with the earth, with your breath, breathing as one together. Now keep this rhythm up in whatever way feels natural. Don't try too hard. If some of the directions I gave you are too complicated, again, just surrender into the flow. The earth breathing you, you breathing the earth as one. And what I'm going to do is recalibrate your system. Recalibrate your system to the frequency of oneness. And what typically happens, the earth breath is a diagnostic tool. Because when we bring in oneness, oneness says, okay, what isn't in the same frequency? And because our intention is to heal anger, I'm suspecting what we're going to bump into in this diagnostic exercise is some of that old anger. So continue on with the earth breath as I start this diagnostic exercise. I'm going to start at the subroot first chakra. Sometimes called the Earth Star. And putting the attention and focus of all our guides there. Yep. So there is this disconnect from a certain kind of anger that for each of you is different, but it just feels heavy. It just feels like, so imagine your chakras are like individual drains. And this drain down to the subroot first chakra is about a foot below your feet or the Earth Star. It's just all this stuck energy of disconnected anger, all the anger that you've completely forgotten about. Because it's outside of your awareness. Frankly, you're not meant to remember. Process of awakening is a re-remembering, right? So what Source is doing for us is we're going to do a nice clearing of any stuck in anger that is ready to be released. There we go. You're going to hear me do some deep, short breaths. That's just Shakti energy. I just stay with stuck anger until I get a sense that it's cleared enough to move on. For a lot of you, the stuck anger has a pain attached to it, which is why it's staying outside of your awareness. This pain may be too much to handle, maybe too overwhelming, especially again if it's attached to dimensional history and stories of really egregious thing like torture or rage or fury, like war or abuse. There we go. Nice little gentle release there. Now coming into your root chakra. And yep, there's again the same pattern of some stuck anger. Think of it again like pipes, and what we're doing is we're liquid plumbing them with divine liquid plumber. This stuck anger in your chakras, just pain, just old pain. I'm working dimensionally, so I'm not going to get a story because there's 5 stories, 50 stories, 5,000 stories. This is a group of people So you each have different connotations of the same stuck anger. What you can do if you're awake and aware here, and sometimes people fall asleep, that's okay. But if you're awake and aware, perhaps you can get an idea of what this is. And don't worry if you can't, because here Source says, I'm doing the bulk of the work. Let it go. Open up, receive. Just let the energy do the work. But if your awareness guides you to something, just pay attention. Pay attention. It may be something that may be helpful later. There we go. Stuck anger in your root chakra again, just old pain, old corroded pain. Now coming into your sacral chakra. And I think this is all we're probably going to have time to do in this little mini healing, which is fine, which is enough just to clear out your system of stuck anger. Oh yeah, they're in your stuck anger in your sacral chakra. It has to do with this is very delicate, but I'm going to say it because that's where they're showing me. It has to do with your genitals, your womb, anger or male, your gonads, of course, your anus, just in your genital area. That has to do with stuck pain there, which you can imagine what that refers to. Don't even have to say it. So, Source doing the work here. There we go. Nice release, especially in the area again of your genitals, your anus, your colon. Think of it like an impaction there, impaction of energy. It just has, again, frequency of unresolved anger. A little bit more releasing. There we go. Now moving up into your solar plexus, and that's your third chakra. Your third chakra, control center. So the stuck anger is probably going to have the connotation of resistance because we always want to control. And control can be in so many different forms. Resistance, it could be in the form of adaptions, it could be in the form of dis-ease. I mean, there's so many ways that we control knowingly and unknowingly. The stuckness of anger. Source is giving me an impression of like pipe cleaning, or those of you who do a lot of outdoor work, power washing, each of your chakras, whatever stuck anger is ready to go. Again, in the form of old pain. Yeah, and there's a disconnect there. A disconnect can indicate something like a shadow side or a blind spot, but it can also be our natural resistance to looking. I had it. I have it still. Probably spend the rest of my life chipping away at this anger pattern. Nothing to be ashamed of. The part of awareness awakening to itself is bringing up the unconscious into the conscious. And then holding yourself accountable for doing something about it. But anger like this automatically says, I'm traumatizing in some aspect, and so it could be overwhelming. So that's where the beauty of having the help of the divine is so valuable. Yeah, this anger in your third chakra has a lot of brewing hate in it. Oof, yeah, we better get going. We're almost done with our time. So we're going to go probably 5 minutes longer. So now coming into the heart center. And because we cleared a lot of the chakras underneath it, the heart was more open to release some of that pent up anger again, like beautiful power washing in the heart. Beautiful. Now moving into the throat. There's a lot of anger in the throat as unexpressed. We often, especially as females, don't realize just how much we've been pushing down and not saying. This whole political correctness says, and even as a child, be seen and not heard. So there's a lot of unexpressed anger in the throat chakra. Source tells me in October, we're going to be doing a lot of throat work for this. So what's ready to be cleared and released and transformed? There we go. Just came out. Beautiful, nice, general relaxing going on. Because the lower chakras, a little bit cleared, a lot easier for the upper chakras to move and shift. Now coming into the brow chakra, the entire skull. This is anger maybe you don't want to see, you don't want to acknowledge, you don't want to hear, don't want to swallow. Again, when it comes to our dimensionality, there's a lot of brutal stuff there. Our ancestry, in our past lives. For me, and for most people, is not the anger that was perpetrated on us, but what we did to others that is the hardest to swallow and the hardest to own. That is true personal transformation, when we can meet that and bring our beautiful awareness, the beauty of presence that says everything is divine, everything, even our pain. And now up into the crown, opening the crown to the extent that it's ready. All this light pouring in, transforming how all your chakras work together. There we go. Putting any kind of structures to keep this flow open, grounded, anchored, and infused. The divinity of your earthen presence merged with your divine presence in this oneness. So now check back with your earth breath. If you've kind of allowed that to lapse, how is it now? Breathing this oneness, allowing the earth to breathe you. It should be easier. Because like clogged pipes, we read this divine liquid plumber coming in. So now with the last few minutes we have left, I'm going to drop into something called the Truth Tower. Truth Tower is just an energetic place where your feet are in the center of the earth, your crown in the center of the universe, your spine merged with all your timelines. You're going to bring in the you that is already cleared all your anger, cleared this specifically hard stuck pattern that we just pointed to today. Work through every different network, because our issues are networked, related to this stuck anger, gained all the wisdom. As we work through these issues, that's the wisdom we gain. We find new tools, we find new people, we find new wisdom. Change our lifestyle, we reframe, we gain more characteristics of compassion, of patience. That's wisdom. So, you that has worked through this anger, is embodied freedom, grounded in freedom, being able to live your freedom in whatever way is your divine expression. Each of us are divine expressions, individually unique, but as a single part of the whole. But ultimately, all of it is free. So this is your own unique expression of freedom, embodied, meaning you're living it. So for the last couple of minutes, let's just in line with this embodied freedom, in tune with your entire system. So coming back to the earth breath, breathing in this embodied freedom. As this freedom breathes you. What does freedom exactly mean for you? For everyone, it's different. But here's the thing, if you have any kind of context for it, that's not freedom. That's your interpretation of what freedom is. Freedom is just a state of consciousness that has no content, no context within it. It's this awareness that's just aware of itself as free. I hope that doesn't sound too complicated, but don't allow your mind to interpret it. Just experience it as we align our physical being, our energetic being, chakras, our energy bodies, our organs. And I'm adding alchemy codes. Alchemy is literally a change of state of consciousness to another. These alchemy codes going wherever they're needed with the intention to really amplify and expand this state of embodied freedom wherever it's most needed. And of course, the Angel Jophiel always tends to come in at the end with sparks, gifts, like little sparks, flames of embodied freedom, specifically going into more of that stuck anger. Because we cleared what was needed today. This is a little mini healing. There is certainly more there. I can imagine that we'll be doing more of that in October as we meet. If this is interest to you, well, please join us. If it's not, I am sure you'll be led to exactly what you need. That's the magic. And that's the magic of freedom. When you're in a place of freedom, manifesting is coming from a place of potential where everything exists as a frequency. You think of it, you envision it, and then you just wait for it to show up and you make choices. Do I want this freedom? Do I want that freedom? And you respond accordingly. The more freedom you have, the easier it is. But as we've seen, we just did this simple exercise. Bam, you ran into some stuck old pain, lifetimes old. Not even ours, they're ancestors, but they really are ours. Because when you think of yourself as a dimensional being, you are everybody's pain. You are everybody's love too. We're just not aware of it. Your whole state of awareness changes to include this interconnectivity that is interdependent with everything else. It's a beautiful process. So aligning with this embodied freedom that has no thing in it but free. And as an earth worker, which is what I label these series, because when we work on dimensional levels, we are clearing so broadly, so deeply, it impacts your lineage. Your lineage is interwoven into the earth, and it is how the earth changes. It's not fast, it's not sexy, it's hard, it's long, but if even just a portion of people are doing this, and they are, that's how the earth changes. So, like a prayer, we're going to send the same vibration of embodied freedom out to anyone and everything holding this place of stuck pain, simply by intending. We're getting a lot of help from the goddess energies, the divine mothers, the master healers, like spreading it out in this morphic field. It is really just like a mandorla. If you're looking at this video, mandorla is those two intertwining circles. It's a toroidal field, three-dimensionally, that you have one, but that Earth also has one. So as we send it out into what Rupert Sheldrake calls the morphic field, this pattern now enters the awareness of everyone. Just by us meeting here today. Thank you. Thank you for that gift. So sending it out to the earth, to all our loved ones, to the mountains, the air, the waters, the land, to all sentient beings, animals, the birds, the insects, the marine life, of course, all human life, and all non-sentient rocks, plants, forests, the trees, sending it out in resonating waves of harmonic resonance. And I promise to wrap this up, so I will. Ending with a Sanskrit chant that literally translates into may we be led from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. May there be peace and freedom for all, and may we be conduits of that freedom. Om Asatoma Sakamaya Tamasoma Jyotirkamaya Yichomaham Tramgamaya Om Shanti 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 Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti 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 Om Shri Guryo Namaha. Peace, peace, peace. May this newfound awareness, embodied freedom, expand as above, so below, inward, outward, to create more peace. And so it is, so it is, so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take your time coming out of this space of grace, surrounding you with love, to amplify and expand this beautiful energy of embodied freedom, but also adding gratitude for you choosing to show up. I know I got a couple of messages, but I didn't know why I had to be here. So may you have received exactly what you needed to receive today. Thank you. Thank you for trusting. And if I join you next time, until then, be blessed.